Let's get started.
Let's get scratching.
All right, it is S&S getting it scratching for the NFC South preview. It is the Sandman, and of course, I am joined by my co-host, Favorite Hawk, in the house. What is up, Favorite Hawk?
Hey, yeah, just ready to check out the NFC. Who knows who's gonna win South? Can't wait.
Yeah, man, it's wide open. Every year, it's been wide open, and then everyone thinks Atlanta is going to take it because they got all the talent, high-end offensive power, and not so much. And then you got Baker and gang, who probably should have won it last year. But, I mean, Carolina, weren't they last place 2 years ago?
Yeah, no, they just not very impressive. Well, besides Dowdle in the defense, now Dowdle's gone. They've apparently shorn up the defense to be even better.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see how far the defense can carry them because teams like Denver and defense is just dominating. Houston defense is just dominating, right? So if you can set up your team to not score, like as long as they score 17 points and they're winning almost every game, like that's pretty good. So
yeah, I mean, even New Orleans showed some promise. I thought at the end of the year they were pretty competitive. Tyler Shuck made a name for himself, and I think Baker Mayfield and gang are due for a little bounce back. Mike Evans is gone, but they have retooled a little as well in Atlanta. They got some new pieces. So is this another coin flip year in this division, Jer? Let's find out. Let's slide on over. We're going to take a look at the Atlanta Falcons. 8-9, finished strong, but lost a tiebreaker to the Panthers. Their win total is 7.5 this year. And we're looking at their key additions here, Jer. Obviously, they acquired a pretty solid backup / starter in Tua Tagovailoa. They also grabbed Brian Robinson Jr., so they got 2 B. Robinsons on the team. And Jahan Dotson, former Eagle and Commander. What are your thoughts on those guys?
They're great. Like, question mark at the quarterback, but it's something to be said for a new coach feeling too. They just play a little bit harder, a little bit faster for the new coach that is basically going to be, telling you where you're standing, what you're doing for the rest of the time. So if you can impress him early, then, maybe you're on easy street for the rest of the time, getting the reps, getting everything, getting the ball. Saying, I think they're going to have a little extra boost, little extra pep in their step. And, Bijan Robinson, as long as he can keep doing what he's doing, and at least Penix Jr. or Tagovailoa, one of those guys, if they can just be a game manager instead of trying to win the game, I think they can get some W's, like take the over for sure for Atlanta.
They are due. They're everyone's darling on paper, and then Atlanta does what they do, and they just Atlanta on you. They lost Tyler Algier. He was a bit of a goal line siphon there for Robinson there, and they lost Darnell Mooney and a couple other guys for depth. But on offense, Tua, I think he'll be able to solidify the position. He's not going to wow you with his arm talent, but pretty accurate guy when you give him time. Front seven is strong. They got Grady Jarrett there. Secondary probably needs to improve a little. What do you think is the biggest question for this team? Do you think it's just consistent QB play?
Yes, definitely biggest question mark at the quarterback position, because I even seen their defense like flashes of quite brilliance, over the last few seasons. Almost, again, keeping the opponent to under 20 is just a huge upswing for the team. Like, if you only got to get a couple touchdowns, a field goal, that's no pressure. So I'm really loving that.
I like that. I like that as well. Their X factor, I think it's definitely got to be Bijan here. The guy is elite. We know that. It's just little things have always gotten in his way, whether it's just bad offensive line, questionable quarterback play, and let's see if they can flip a coin out of Penix and Tua and maybe get a solid quarterback to give them 10 wins and get into playoffs. I think this team going to be pretty scary in the playoffs. Like Kyle Pitts, he broke out last year as well, so the weapons are there. We got Drake London, obviously. So it's a question of Stefanski. Is he just going to be able to just step in and put this team together? I guess we will all find out. Yeah, okay. We'll move on over to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Another team, finish 8-9. Very disappointing, Jer. They started off strong. Seemed like Baker was holding back an injury, but we know he's a tough guy, right? And we know he's going to play through that. Some of the key additions here, Alex Anzalone, Kenneth Gainwell, Ashawn Robinson. They lost Mike Evans, obviously, and Levante David. How do you think they replace Mike Evans? I know they had a good rookie last year.
Yeah, they got some young, fast guys, and Uncle Gainwell. Why not? I love him. To me, he'll always be a bird, but he just he'll get you going. If you don't pay attention to him, he'll run all over you. So all the other guys will get a chance too, right? Yeah, I like the additions, and they'll be. Baker was hurt too, for sure. He's the best quarterback in the division. Don't get it twisted until
I think so.
Yeah. So until somebody else steps up and takes that from him, you always got to be real with him. And the addition of Anzalone and just their defense. Tampa Bay was steadily putting up some decent numbers. I think there was a few games where they kind of underperformed there, but their defense needs to get better. I think their offense will be just fine.
I thought their front seven got better, and they need to get some more pressure, force some turnovers. And an offense, obviously, Baker is going to give you some offensive numbers. He's going to let it fly. He takes a couple too many sacks here and there, but they got a little depth in the running back position, obviously, with Kenny G. And the biggest question, I think, is just the health. And for this team to, at worst, get a wild card and look to win this division. They got the leadership.
I don't think it's going to be the same that it always is. Only the division winners getting in the playoffs. The other three are going to be left out, unfortunately.
In this NFL, it's wild, right? Wilder things have happened. They're the only one in the division with the over-under of 8.5. All the other three teams are at 7.5. So obviously, the odds makers are expecting good stuff. Bounce back year from Tampa. And gang, we're going to move on over to the team that somehow won this division, Jer. Carolina Panthers, the team that was to be picked on, and they came back and I guess became the bullies of the block. 8-9. Who was the last team that was it the Tampa? They got the tiebreaker, I believe, in the last week on. They added Jalen Phillips, Devin Lloyd, Kenny Pickett as a backup, lost Cade Mays at center. Andy Dalton is now on the Eagles, and Rico Dowdle, as you mentioned earlier, has gone to the Steelers. So on offense, they got a young core, obviously. They got Ted McMillan. They got Jonathan Brooks, who hurt himself last year, and he should be back in the second year to help with your boy there, Chuba Hubbard in the backfield. So what do you think about this team? Can they improve from the they had a nice finish there and they had some momentum?
Yeah, Brooks and Hubbard there, if they can get a solid foundation going, I don't see why not. Like, as much as I harp on Bryce, he did get some comeback wins, some fourth quarter magic. He did have some flashes of brilliance. I still maintain the schedule is going to be very tough on them. Just don't see it happening for Carolina this year. But as it said, they can take over a game very easily, and they can, they can bully a very good team. As you know, they were one of the only teams to kind of manhandle the Rams. I think they picked Stafford twice.
JC Horn.
So yeah, if this defense, defense wins championships. Not just a cliche. So again, if this defense can become absolutely dominant, then why not? Then I believe in Bryce to put up, again, 17 points a game at least. And again, the running game's key. Like if they can get 100 yards rushing a game, then you have to respect it, and then the play action just works even more. So if they can get that going, but
Bo Nix type, or one of those guys that relies on the defense and just, like a CJ Stroud type of guy, just don't do anything stupid, and
don't lose the game.
Don't lose the game, exactly. X factor definitely is JC Horn. On offense, I think a lot of young pieces. I'm not sure about Xavier Leggett as a NFL wide receiver, but I don't know. Maybe he can do something. They picked up Jalen Coker as well, I believe. Actually, no, he's gone now. He was on the team, but I mean, I think they finished well, and I think they can just get better. I don't see them taking too much of a step back, but it's that tough, the tough division, tough schedule. They're going to get some first place games, but
right? Going to be playing the Eagles. Going to be playing the Patriots. Going to be playing a lot
of times I noticed they stepped up to their competition, and then they played down to their competition as well. If they played a really crappy, I think it was Arizona last year that broke a lot of survivor pools, is when Carolina was facing them, and everyone expected Carolina to win. It's like, when you expect these guys to win, they'll let you down. But when they're dogs, I mean, they seem to bark. So let's see what the Panthers do this upcoming year. Excited to see that. And then we got the New Orleans Saints, who finished strong, and they added Travis Etienne, David Edwards at guard, Caden Ellis at linebacker, lost Demario Davis and Foster Moreau. So not too much overturn. And obviously I think they got a decent backfield now, right? You don't have to rely on Alvin Kamara so much. And still got some veterans, Tyrann Matthews, guys like that, So what do you expect from the boys from Nolans?
I'll always and forever be grateful to Kellen Moore for getting revenge for the Birds on the Chiefs. Just manhandled. So, I do believe in him to turn around an offense. Are they going to, New Orleans is always great on defense, but are they going to have that dominant defense that can steal games for you? Is still kind of, it's out. But I do think that the offense is going to take a step forward this year. Yeah, and just kind of spread the ball around, like you say. And who knows, Shuck, hopefully get that going. But they did re-sign one of their best players, and they're trying to keep this defense, the Honey Badger. But let's get stout on defense, and win all your divisionals games. And I see them making the playoffs if they can dominate in the division. Why not? They're going to have an easier schedule than a lot of these teams in the NFL. So, that's a recipe for success. So why not?
I don't know if they get to 8 wins this year. That's their projected win total of 7.5. And, I thought 6 wins was a pretty solid year, considering they were projected to be like the doormat of the NFL. So I would think a 7-10 season is slight progress, but still maybe a year or two away from really knocking on the door in this division. But I mean, I can see them covering some spreads for sure if they're getting, 6 or 7, 8 points, something like that in a lot of games. You got some scrappy players on this team, and I like the coaching staff, just like you do.
Yeah.
And New Orleans, let's see what you guys can do. We'll move on over to the projected standings done here by the computer. It's got Tampa Bay winning the division, Atlanta second, Carolina third, New Orleans fourth. And it's basically a wide open division. I think this is, you got to say, it's the most wide open division in all of football. Tampa Bay right? Like has the edge, but like, what do you think, right? Like, is there any other division more open than this?
No, absolutely not. But I'm going to go with the Falcons here. I think they get over that again. That new coach energy, and
Mhm.
10-7 can easily win this division. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh yeah.
I see them going 10-7. Yeah,
Okay.
Atlanta.
Well, I mean, Tampa Bay, I think, has the edge to win a division, but Atlanta, Carolina, they'll be in the mix. Saints still rebuilding, but it's going to be competitive as hell, and we're here for all of it. So
Yeah.
consider hitting that like, consider hitting that subscribe. And I'm pumped up that you could join me for another show here, Favorite Hawk, and we're going to be moving on to the AFC for our next show.
All right.
Can't wait.
Let's get scratching.
Let's get scratching.
Let's get scratching.